But anyway, something to be positive about. We have a very exciting update that was posted super late last night. It still wasn't posted by the time I was done recording the podcast with Burks, which was like 10:30, 11 p.m. Eastern. 321's on the PTU? What? So confused. So before we look at the patch notes, I want to look at this, which was posted by the new community manager. I think this is the French guy. Hi, everyone. Star Citizen Alpha 321 has been released to the PTU. The primary reason for the nomenclature change from 320.1 to 321. Okay, so there is no 320.1 then. This is the next. Okay, so that I didn't know, and I had a hell of a day yesterday. Oh, this is Benoit Beauchazor. Oh, okay. Never mind. I didn't know what is the new community manager's screen name similar? Whatever. It doesn't matter. The reason for changing to 320 to 3.21 is to signify Star Citizen approaching the next major milestone in its online networking technology. Okay. During the 321 patch cycle, we will introduce a new testing channel aimed at graduating new underlying technology. This new channel allows the dev teams to get players on a version of the game that matches the current live release in both content and features, but that introduces large tech changes that must be validated, graduated, and ultimately mission proven before taking their way to a live release. Holy shit. Wow. Imagine actually using the PTU as a PTU instead of a way to get more subscribers to your game. Wow. This is crazy. Okay. The first project to enter this new technology preview channel is Replication Layer. Didn't we also not just get something super, super similar to this? Where it was like we had an option to download the patch or something. Wasn't there some weird thing that they just did with the 320 patch as well? There was something crazy like that, but then it just was delivered to everybody. I can't remember though, because it was a few days ago and it's been a week. Yeah, it was like we could choose to get the hotfix or not, and everything would be fine. Yeah. The first project to enter this new technology preview channel is Replication Layer, which is a core networking part of server meshing infrastructure. In this update, the game's networking, replication, and state are separated from the game server to its own service. So they're finally talking about it. Now, this isn't in the PTU as far as I'm aware. So, okay. In this update, the games are separated from the game server to its own service. Game clients are connected to this new service, and the game server itself becomes a client with authority on the replication layer. With the replication moving off the game servers, the team is hoping to begin testing server recovery without disconnecting game clients from the universe state on a given shard. So when a server crashes, we don't. I don't think this is going to be very smooth. I don't think this is the end of the 30K. We're going to feel it, but we're not going to be kicked to the menu and sent to a new server and all that stuff. I wonder if this means I am, like, the first server that I choose to play on, let's say it's server 20. Am I now on server 20 for the rest of my life? I wonder. Mike, can you take a second to explain what the Wii U stuff is? I don't know how much he streams because he's had a kid, but there's a guy named, oh my God, it's too early in the morning. Oh my God, the tip of my tongue. I can't believe I can't remember his name. I could see his face. I could see, Red Lear. I'm thinking beginning with an L, and I just had Lear, Red Lear. I don't know how much he streams now, but he's, just total brain fart. Redlear's a great dude, so I don't want to be like the I don't even remember your name kind of guy. It's like not like that at all. It's just very sleep deprived. But Redlear just started posting that under everything, and then other people jumped on it, and it's become a bit of a meme. But yeah, so yeah, this is a big deal, but I thought we would be testing it when they released 321 to the PTU, and I guess they're not, but this is all weird to me right now. In short, this is the next step towards testing components of server meshing after deploying persistent entity streaming earlier this year. For the time being, the game server will only be managing the Stanton system, so you won't notice much of a change in your experience. However, this is a critically important step as we progress towards Alpha 4.0 and beyond. I'm confused. So if we're not disconnecting from the game client when a server crashes, and then they're saying you won't notice much of a change to our experience, I'm lost here, because our experience is filled with 30Ks and disconnections and client crashes, and whether a game is or a patch, I should say, is stable, we still experience these things much more regularly than you experience them in released products, right? So I imagine our experience will feel different, but it's hard to say. We'll share more information about Alpha 321 in our upcoming roadmap next week, and you can look ahead to CitizenCon for more information about the preview channel and how it will play a vital role in further bringing our shared universe to life. Okay, that's really interesting. I want to know what this experience is going to be like. I want to know what it's going to look like. That's what I want to know. And that's it. I don't care what is posted here. I want to experience it. Xylo replied a bunch below. Okay. We alluded to the preview channel in the intro of the recent postmortem. Yep. That's Benoit. It is not the Alpha 321 build that is released to the PTU. The replication layer work will come separately on the preview channel, which will run parallel. And when we feel it's ready, we'll migrate over to the live servers for a 321.x patch. So I think he's really setting the expectations here that 321 will not have any of this in it. So for right now, again, we're all talk, not a lot of action. But they can't post a 321 patch to the PTU without explaining why. So they kind of had to talk in this situation. As Benoit mentioned, the primary reason for it to be 321 is because of that change. Yep, we'll glean a better picture on Wednesday's roadmap. Because, yeah, there's not a lot of features in the patch notes from what I gathered from a very, 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 very quick look. Am I missing anything else from Xylo? That's the beauty of the technology, which can often be disruptive when first introduced. This isolated in space for proper testing until it's ready. The thing that I think they're going to run into with this is nobody's going to go over to the preview channel to test, because it is specifically a test. Right? And that's it. Like, the PTU usually is like, oh, new features. All right, that looks like we got everything there. So I don't think most of the community cares for testing, and I wonder how many people they're actually going to get. So we'll see. But, yeah. Does anybody have the patch notes? I actually want to take a peek at those. We'll quickly skim over that. Although actually, I can find it very quickly by just going to the forum categories, I imagine. So let's do that real quick and take a peek at these. The only thing I honestly recognized when I looked at these yesterday was that many of the issues in 320 still exist in this PTU. Specifically around the Hull C, which have been mentioned to be fixed multiple times. Transit issues, right? And many other issues that are probable, that I know exist, because I literally had to send 2 IC reports today. Yeah. Again, one massive major issue to me that is unacceptable to ever be in a patch that is released to players for testing would be the landing pads, not refuel, rearm not working, things like that. But what is in this patch? Illegal and legal retrieve consignment missions. In case you guys didn't know, we're going to go down to bunkers. You're going to get something, and you're going to drop it off at a location, right? Something we've already had. They're basically delivery missions with kill quests, it sounds like, with a few extra steps. Very cool. This was planned for 320, didn't make it. So all this is to me is this is 320 dot whatever, right? That's fine. And the reason for the change is the change in number is because of the replication layer, not because of this stuff. This was going to be a 320.x. So now it's just, let's not look at this stuff and go, okay, well, those are features we were already expecting. The number changes for the replication layer testing, whatever, not the actual features. I'm excited for this one, Max. It should be cool. I mean, the AI are acting a little bit better, but I mean, man, we're still suffering from so many issues. Even specifically around bunkers, I know the 90K missions aren't working, things like that. The new illegal mission, Korea Steal Evidence. More Korea stuff, the better, in my opinion. And we retrieve evidence from an evidence dispenser. And so this is very similar, I think. This is exactly like retrieve consignment, but from Korea. And then repel raid on Orison from the new Crusader platforms. Again, just bringing these back, so nothing crazy. Driver remote quality of life improvements. Okay, cool. Here's my one quality of life improvement that I want to see. And maybe this requires a replication layer thing. I don't know. I have one quality of life suggestion two quality of life suggestions for the remainder of time until they're fixed. When my client crashes, whether it is a server crash, that this is definitely a replication layer fix, but when my client crashes and I crash the desktop, please save my position. And when for a few minutes, and when I come back, I'd like to be in my ship. I had an issue where I 100% could repeat a client crash, and I sent the IC report over to the devs to fix it. But I was sent back to a station. How do you get back to your ship? There are solo ships in this game. I was flying a Prospector. Solo ship. Let me get back to, part of crash recovery is put me back where I was, right? And the second thing would be take voice over IP off of Numpad Plus and put it somewhere that is usable for everybody, right? That would be my two things. Now, they did fix a number of bug fixes, but to be honest, nothing crazy here. Nothing that I see that is even worth noting, other than the third-person fix. Right? No salvage speed fix, but I did see a post on Twitter from the new community manager saying that we are aware of it, we are working on a fix. So that is a thing. Remember, it's not full notes. AC notes is 2 to 3 pages on my draft so far. Yeah, and I imagine it's not full notes for other features that are planned to be coming into to these patches. Like they said, this isn't the full thing. So we'll have to see. Maybe we'll hear more at Roadmap Roundup and more things in the future. This seems like things are happening very quickly. And again, the people who are speculating a CitizenCon patch seem to be correct on this. And this is all being rushed for their big marketing event, CitizenCon. Hopefully. Well, in this case, do we hope we have a very unstable patch to actually see the replication layer working and properly test it? Maybe. Honestly, maybe for this, but you know, the execution on the things working are going to be really important, and I think that's probably why they're delivering this now to the PTU. But guess what? How long was 320 in the PTU? Delivering something to the PTU does not mean that when things go live, it's going to be smooth. Because it never has up to this point. So a very long react to all the things happening with 321, which is very weird to say. But generally excited to see this replication layer testing thing, and the genuinely excited to see how testing will go moving forward, and how stable the live servers will be moving forward.